You know, one thing that I really enjoy is going through forums, all right, going through Facebook groups and reading up that magicians are asking questions like, hey guys, what are some tricks that I could do that don't involve contact with another person? Hey guys, how can I promote the idea of social distancing when it comes to my magic tricks in this coronavirus age? Hey guys, I'm socially active, so I just want to know what are some ways that you guys have been combating this coronavirus epidemic? Let's just be honest. You're a magician. The only social interaction you have is with your own hand. But luckily for you guys, you have me, all right? You have me. You're subscribed to this channel. You've bought the merch, pigcake.me, check it out. You're joined the academy. You have me to teach you the proper ways to do things. So today I'm gonna show you guys a force that you already know, all right? But I'm gonna talk about the proper use of this force, as well as some subtlety for you to be able to do this force, all right, on multiple people, and yet only do one control. You don't have to control different cards. You just have to do one control and you're good to go. So I'm gonna show you guys all that in this particular lesson of coronavirus force. Where else are you going to be able to learn high quality, expertly taught magic for only $5 a month with 400 videos already, 2 new videos every single week going over card, going over potentially coin, going over theory? Where could you learn that? Oh, the Pigcake Magic Academy. Rave reviews all around. Everyone's going around saying this is the best bang for my buck. This is literally the best value in magic today. You're getting over 400 videos that you have access to immediately as you sign up. It's $5 a month, so it's less than a White Claw a month, all right? And yet you're gonna have access to this whole repository of knowledge from my head. Now, I know some people are saying, hey man, you're pretty edgy when it comes to YouTube videos. How are you on the academy? I'm dead serious. All right, I've gotten comments of people saying, hey man, I can't believe the difference in your character when it comes to how you teach on the academy. It's serious, all right? It shows that you love magic, and it's not true, I hate magic. But you know what? Sign up for the academy and you'll find out yourself. $5 a month, and you'll learn some magic. You'll learn some magic and hopefully better your life. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys the riffle force. And I know what you're saying. I've been doing magic for 2 minutes. I already know the riffle force, all right? I'm already an expert in this force. You're not, you're doing it wrong. I'm gonna show you how to do it correctly. If you're not familiar with the riffle force, it looks a little bit like this. You run through the deck like this, and you have the spectator call stop wherever it is they want. Let's say they happen to call stop right over here. You go, perfect. Look at your card, don't forget it. It's the 8 of hearts, and that's the riffle force. Most people do it incorrectly. This episode, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it correctly, as well as how to do it with multiple cards and how to control multiple cards with just one single control. So I'm gonna show you guys that after I cut to the crotch camera. Some people say bands make her dance. I say swish pans make her dance. So this is the mechanics of the riffle force. In this case, the card that you're gonna force is gonna be on top of the deck, and it's gonna be the 5 of clubs, which I hope it's on focus. I hope it's focused. So we're gonna have the 5 of clubs on top of the deck, and that's gonna be our force card. We're now gonna cut this card into the middle, and we're gonna proceed with the mechanics of the force. Now, some people are against that. Some people are against cutting the deck and then getting into the force because they say that adds an unnecessary action. I say you're an unnecessary action. So here, all you're gonna do is you're gonna keep a pinky break separating both halves. So the force card is gonna be on top of the deck. I'm gonna leave it face up for explanation. Don't leave it face up in performance. Some people do this. Some people are like, I don't understand how you force the card with the card being face up. This is a demonstration. You fuck. So you're gonna swing cut the card in the middle. You're gonna keep a separation with your pinky break right there. You're gonna keep a separation just like I have with my father between the packets. Now you're gonna use your thumb to riffle down the upper left corner of the deck. Now notice my forefinger has curled on the bottom to give me a little bit of grip there, so I have some leverage that I could riffle down. So I'm gonna riffle down and have the spectator call stop. Now it doesn't matter where they call stop because you're not gonna pick up the deck where they call stop. You're gonna pick up the deck at your break. So let's say they call stop right over here. You go right there, right over here. Here's a little bit of a subtlety. I'm gonna use my middle finger, all right? I'm gonna use my middle finger which conveniently is the same finger I use to all my haters. And I'm gonna use that to illustrate the position that they called stop in. So right there, I'm gonna say right here. Now here's what's gonna happen. When I'm here, I'm just simply gonna lift up the card. So I'm gonna obscure that front for just a moment as I lift up at my break. So all I'm doing here, I'm just pointing out the section that they called stop. At the same time, I'm gonna open my hands and obscure that little opening for just a moment as I use my dirty thumb to pick up the cards at my force position. So I'm not picking up where they called stop. I'm just picking up right there where I decided to keep the separation. So at this point, they called stop. I'm gonna lift up, show them the force card, and have them remember it. That's the actual force itself. At this point, I could coalesce the cards and I'm ready to go with my day. All right, I could just move on. I could do groceries. I could buy those masks that people seem to be wearing to prevent corona. Really, what prevents corona is, I don't know, having a father, maybe. I've heard being black. Black people don't get it. That might be a myth. That might be a myth. Now, here's the way people have been doing this force incorrectly. Right now, the camera is where I would consider to be social distance, right? So right now, this camera, if it represents an actual human being, I could touch it. See that? I could touch this camera. I could do this, right? There's no reason for me to do this riffle force. Why can't I just have you touch a card if you're this close, right? So if you're this close to me, why would I have you do this? It doesn't make any sense. So where do you do the riffle force? You do the riffle force if there's somebody further back that you don't want them to push through the crowd. If there's someone in the audience, all right, and they're far away, you say, no, stay where you are, just call stop as I riffle through. I don't want you to get up. You see how it provides a reason for the actual dumb mechanics? Because this is stupid. This is stupid. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why would I ever do this? Why would this be any sort of logical way to have somebody pick a card, especially if they're about 3 inches away from my face? Okay, it doesn't make sense. So if somebody's further away, and if somebody's sitting down maybe in an audience somewhere, that's when you could do this force. If somebody is standing up behind in the crowd, then you could say, sir, I don't want you to move forward. I just want you to say stop whenever you want. Right there, perfect. Okay, look at your card. Don't forget it. See how it makes sense now? See how the force immediately becomes something that's garbage and now makes all the sense in the planet from just a little bit of logic, all right? Instilling and sprinkling a little bit of logic, just like the whites sprinkled crack on impoverished African Americans in the 70s, all right? We're gonna do the same thing, but with logic. So in this case, that is the way you would do the force. You would only do it if there's a logical reason. In this case, the logical reason is I don't want you to stand up. I don't want you to do extra work. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna riffle through right there and just call stop wherever you want me to cut the cards. That's how you would justify this ridiculous action. Now, the other way to justify this action is with the coronavirus. The coronavirus, because right now we're supposed to be this far away. We're supposed to be this far away from people normally. We can't be touching them, all right? So it makes sense that you're gonna be far away from the spectator and you're gonna say, do me a favor, I don't wanna touch you, all right? I'm sick, all right? I don't want you to catch my sickness, which is really just a nice way of saying you're gross, you're disgusting. I don't want your saliva anywhere near me. You're putting the blame on you. So you say, no, sir, look, I'm gonna call stop over here. You just look at that card, all right? You don't need to touch anything. You don't need to touch anything. And that way, there's no contact between you and the participant, all right? Or even worse, there's no contact between your gross, disgusting deck and them, because you're both gross. You're both gross. They're gross for wanting to see a trick, and you're gross for being a magician in the first place. So that's the best force for this coronavirus, because it doesn't involve any sort of contact on their end. Now, I know what you're saying, how could you do this with multiple cards? How could you do this and control multiple cards? Well, in this case, it's very, very easy. Let's say we have just these cards on top of the deck. We'll have these 4 random cards. We're gonna cut these cards in the middle, and we're gonna riffle force the spectator. So in this case, we get riffle force here. We have the spectator call stop. We show them the card. Now here, all we're gonna do is when we close up the deck, we're gonna get a break right there below it. So you see this move right here? As I'm squaring up the cards, I'm just gonna get a break right there below it. So when I put this half back, guess what? My break is now below the first card that was on top of the deck. You see what happened now? The next card is ready to be forced. So I could turn to another participant, have them call stop, go through the exact same actions, and they're looking at a different card. They're looking at the 9 of diamonds now. So they're gonna be looking at this card, and I could repeat this as much as I want. So right now, guess what? I could riffle force multiple cards without changing what's taking place, so I could riffle force as many cards as I want. And when I get to the last card, so right now notice I've exhausted the amount of cards that I have. All it takes is just one control. So one control, and I've managed to control all the cards directly where I need it. In this case, the bottom of the deck. So in this case, after I've gone through the last card, let's say I've shown this one, I reestablish my break right there, and I could do whatever control I want to control those cards to the bottom of the deck. If I want to control it to the top, all I need to do is just spread through, eyesight where the top one is. So in this case, I would count from my break 1, 2, 3, 4. I wouldn't do that out loud because I'm not a fucking idiot, but you're gonna reestablish a break right there above it. And now you could control these cards to the top via your favorite method. Mine happens to be the Mahatma control, and you could control those cards directly to the top. You don't have to do this with a force. You could do this from a shuffle deck if you want the cards just to be controlled. All you have to do is have the first card be very fair, and then from then on, you could control each subsequent card to be placed underneath that card. So the first one isn't a force in this case, but the first one does establish the location as to where the forces are going to be. So that's going to be the way you could do this without necessarily having or necessity to force the cards. But you see how you could do that? You see the economy of motion, as I like to say, by just doing the same action, you could control multiple cards with no effort. These nuts. So this is truly the best force for the coronavirus, man. Guess what? You're not touching anything. They're not touching anything. And there's a logical reason as to why you're doing it. It's almost like I'm some sort of genius. It's almost like I'm a child genius, and I deserve to star in my own show called Smart Guy, where I show the fact that blacks could also be smart and go to college at a very adolescent age, right? It's almost like I should do that, but I'm not. So that's the force. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the riffle force. I'm going to leave the crediting, if I find it, in the description below, because that's what I do. I credit, all right? I give credit where credit is due. That's part of the duties that I've instilled on myself as a professional loser. There's a fucking mosquito going around in this stupid place, and I'm going to find it, and I'm going to make sure that its family misses it for the next week until they find him in a fucking barrel right by the river. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for being part of this whole Pigcake experience. I hope you guys are enjoying the frequent uploads. All right, I'm frequently uploading, so I hope you guys are enjoying that, and keeping in mind that maybe you should be a little bit happy in these times of dire needs, and these videos provide a little bit of a distraction from what's taking place around. So thank you guys for doing everything that you do. I'm gonna go and what did I do yesterday? I flexed out. I think that was a bit that I did. I flexed out. I try to flex out. I'm not gonna do that this bit. I feel like that's a running old bit at this point. What I might do is something spontaneous, like have some Coke Tic Tacs that I specially imported from Belgium, because we don't have these yet. So these are Coke flavored Tic Tacs that your boy has. This is a little bit random, right, to have at the end of the video. I could give a little bit of a review of these Coke Tic Tacs. They're Tic Tacs that taste like Coke, all right? They're the exact same consistency as a Tic Tac. They come in this nice little package, and I had to import them from Belgium because America doesn't have this yet, because we're functional retards. This tastes almost exactly like Coca-Cola that you've left out on the counter, because it's not cold, it's warm, but it's still fizzy. It's still a little bit fizzy, believe it or not. It tastes weird. It's you should try it. You should also have them imported from Belgium for 4 times the cost of what they would cost here. But I highly recommend them. I highly recommend them, Coke Tic Tacs. I think that's a good end to the video. So